Zombies have been milked of pretty much every ounce of entertainment value in movies and TV series. This week, Grant is looking at a game that might revive your interest in the living dead.
I'm so sick of zombie games. There, I said it. Ooh. But every now and again, a game comes around that uses the aesthetic to create an interesting, deep, and engaging world. Dying Light is one of those games, and I'll relinquish any preconceptions I have to this gorgeous experience.
You're fast. You're smart. Agile. I could use your help.
I'm not a murderer.
Of course you are, my friend. In the right circumstances, anyone.
Using the zombie aesthetic isn't the only initially seemingly disappointing thing that they do. The setting is in the Middle East, an environment that is famous mostly for Call of Duty and other war-torn spectacles. But instead of drab shades of destruction and brown, we are given a very interesting location. The world makes for some very cool traversal in the form of parkour. Think Mirror's Edge meets Left 4 Dead in an open world. Have I got your attention yet? Jumping from building to building initially is quite a strange experience. It's not your smooth and fluid Mirror's Edge or Assassin's Creed's mechanics, but it works. It's fumbly, in the same way real-world parkour would be for someone who's never done it. That said, your character is pretty good for someone who's never done free running before. It's also mapped to the shoulder buttons if you're playing on a PS4 or Xbox One, which makes things a little bit more challenging. But don't worry, I seem to get used to it very quickly. It might come as no surprise that the developers of Dying Light are the same team that worked on the incredible Dead Island. Although it was a great game, it had its fair share of problems. And the team totally addressed them. Focusing on the storyline, it's far more engaging and the mission structure is far more interesting, doing away with the dull and repetitive fetch quests. Don't get me wrong, they're there in Dying Light, but they're way more nuanced and have something special and unique about them, which makes them interesting.
You just doomed thousands of innocent people!
We're out of time, Crane.
I don't know if I can fix this, but I'm sure as hell gonna try.
Part of this novel interest is a direct result of adding interesting enemies. You get the normal zombie Scrabble, but bigger, more interesting monsters come out at night. Burly, overpowered beasts wielding sledgehammers, for example, are nearly impossible to kill unless you get a little creative. Persistent fire damage from a Molotov cocktail can do the trick, but tricking him to smash an explosive barrel is far more effective. If you thought that so much awesome could only fit into a short campaign, think again. It's long, very long. So long, in fact, that you'd be deceived into thinking it'll never end. But don't worry, the zombies that seem so impossible to begin with later become the rubble that litters the street. There's a distinctive moment in the game where the turning point is clear and you'll be sprinting past zombie rabble and smashing the weak ones with one shot. Ultimately, you'll find Dying Light very rewarding. It's a lot like Dead Island in spirit, but bear in mind there's Dead Island 2 coming out later this year. Dying Light is a substantial game filled with an interesting story with interesting characters. The game is fun and gives the open world genre an entertaining spin, but isn't without faults. If you like the idea of Skyrim with zombies, then you might as well pick this one up.